and welcome to the Oak and Lamb YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks. I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. Today, I want to teach you a workaround for creating stickers with your Cricut Joy. Now, Cricut Joy, if you are not aware, does not have the print and cut capabilities that the other Cricut machines, the Explore series and Maker series, has. So I'm going to teach you a workaround for this. Now, I've seen several videos teaching how to do this, but they require the use of different softwares and several different steps, and I've never seen it done quite this way. I'm not saying it hasn't been done this way, but I haven't seen any videos done this way. We're doing it all in Design Space, which will be very nice for those of you who are maybe new to cricketing, new to crafting, and don't know a lot about different software. So for this project, I'm going to be needing my Cricut Joy. I'm going to be needing the longer Cricut Joy Mat, which is the 12-inch mat. And I do want to encourage you, maybe get a mat and designate it specifically for this type of project so that you're not having to use this mat for other projects as well. So maybe get a new one or even an old one that you're just going to delegate specifically for print and cut projects. And then I have my Cricut Joy pen. I'm also using Zicoto printable vinyl. It is a glossy printable vinyl that creates really gorgeous stickers. I'm going to be using an inkjet printer today. This is the Canon Pixma 8220. And then I just need my computer, tablet, or phone, whatever you like to design in Design Space with. And I almost forgot, we also need a paper trimmer for this project. This is the We Are Memory Keepers paper trimmer that's also a scoring board. It's my favorite of all of the paper trimmers that we've tried. I think that's it now. If not, I'll let you know later on in the video. Before I jump over into Design Space, I want to give you a look at the Cricut Joy mat that we're going to be using today. This mat is 4.5 by 12 inches, like I said, but we do have to remember that the restriction is that the cut can't be any wider than 4.25 on the mat. There is also this size, which is 4.5 by 9 or by 6.5, and the restriction would be 4.25 on this as well. Now, just because our mat is 4.5 by 12 does not mean that we can cut up to 12 inches. Since we are doing a print and cut project, the restriction in Design Space is 6.75 by 9.25. So with this mat, the widest that we can do is 4.25 by 9.25. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is make sure that Design Space has the correct machine setting. So we are using the Joy. We're going to have the Joy selected. And then what we want to do is come over to the left-hand side and grab a basic shape from Basic Shapes. I'm going to get the square. And then I'm going to unlock the size lock ratio right here by pushing this little lock button. And I'm going to change the dimensions to 4.25 in width by 9.25 in height. And now what I want to do is make this basically an outline of this rectangle. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I can do that by pressing Command C, Command V to copy and paste. Or I could have pressed duplicate right here in the layers panel. Now what I want to do is drag this over here, and I can change the color of it if I want to so that I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And I want to unlock the ratio here and then grab this right here and size it down right here in the center so that I have a perfect frame right here. And what I can also do is select both layers and come up to the top where it says align and press center. Now what I want to do is slice this rectangle from the back rectangle. So with both layers still selected, you can see they're both selected here. I'm going to come to the bottom right hand corner where it says slice and press slice. And then I am going to delete this right here and delete this right here so that all I have left is this. Now what I want to do is change this from a cut line to a draw line. So I'm going to come up to operations where it says basic cut, and I'm going to select pin just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and click make it. I'm going to select that I am going to be using a mat, and then I'll press done. Now I'll press continue and I'm going to connect to my Cricut Joy. Now I'm just going to select a random material setting. I can just use medium cardstock. I won't be putting a material on the mat, but it does want you to select a material setting. And now I can load my Cricut Joy pen into the machine and load my mat into the machine. To load my Cricut Joy pen, I'm just going to open the clamp and remove the fine point blade. And then I'll place the pen in, close the clamp, and then I'm going to insert the mat. Now I'm going to click go on my computer in Design Space. At this point, I can go ahead and unload the mat and remove my Cricut pen. Go ahead and reload your fine point blade and close the clamp, and then we're going to jump back over into Design Space. Okay, now what I'm going to do is import the files that I want to use for print and cut stickers. You can use PNGs or SVGs. If you use SVGs, you just need to flatten them so that they become print and cut. Now, Cricut Joy does not support print and cut. So what I need to do is change my machine setting from Joy to either the Explorer or the Maker. It doesn't matter. And you don't have to have this machine in order to do this. So just change it so that Design Space recognizes that you are creating print and cut images. So all of the files that I've brought in, you can see they are ready for print and cut. That means they are PNGs, except for this file right here. This taco file is an SVG with lots of different layers. But all I need to do to convert that and have it ready for print and cut is to come to the bottom right-hand corner. See, all of these layers are selected, and I'm going to come to the bottom right-hand corner and I'll press flatten. And then one other thing that I want to point out, when we do this cut, it's going to cut out all of these little bitty pieces. And sometimes when you're making itty bitty stickers, it's best to not cut out these tiny little areas. Sometimes it just rips when you try to pull it up or something like that. So what I like to do is create an offset. And just really quickly, I'll show you how to do that. You come up to the top, press offset, and then you can drag this little thing here to make it bigger or smaller, and then you press apply, and then I want to change this color to white by coming up to the top and just selecting white. And then what I want to do is select both of the layers, come to the bottom right hand corner and press flatten. So that's how you create an offset, and you can't really see it here, so let me change the color of the canvas. Now you can see we have that offset. It looks really great. And then what I want to do is just move these and size them so that they fit here in this area that I created before. Okay, there's a couple more things that we need to do before we're ready to click Make It. One is that we need to take this rectangle that we've created and change it from a draw line to a print and cut line. We want the printer to print this out as well. So I'm just going to come up to the top and change it to standard, just like this. And now what I want to do is select everything just by dragging and selecting, and you can see all of the layers over here are also selected. And then I want to press attach. The next thing I want to encourage you to do is go ahead and save this project if you haven't already. So we're going to save it. The reason that you want to save it is we're going to print this out, and then we have to come back into Design Space, and all of this has to be the exact same size and the exact same position. It can't even be a little bit off. If something happened in Design Space and I had to relaunch it, recreating this in this exact same position and size would be very difficult. So make sure that you save it so that if something happens, you can just open it in the correct size and format. Now what I'm going to do is click Make It. We'll press continue, and it's going to try to connect to our Explorer machine or whatever machine you have selected, but you don't have to do that. Go ahead and press Send to Printer. Turn the add bleed option off. You do not want to add bleed on these images because we're hacking the system and it will throw off your cuts if you leave that on. So turn that off. We are going to turn the Use System dialog box on. Press print, and then we will increase our print quality to best, and also select Feed from Rear Tray. Go ahead and load your printable vinyl in the rear tray of your printer and make sure that you have the glossy printer setting option selected. Ours is just right here. Once you have all of that set, then you're ready to print out. As you can see right here, there are two sets of lines. There's this gray line that we created with our rectangle, and there's this line right here. That is absolutely normal. This is what your Explorer machine or Maker machine would read if you were using it to print and cut. They're registration marks. However, since we're using the Joy, we don't need them. What we are going to do, you could hand cut this or use the paper trimmer. We're going to cut this right inside this gray rectangle. So right inside that, get as close as possible. Like I said, using the paper trimmer or scissors. I liked it to actually just cut this by hand because our paper trimmer doesn't have a guide that will allow you to get an exact cut where you want it. Some of them do, this one does not. And I want to just make sure that I had a really nice clean cut there. Once I'm finished with that, then what I want to do is grab this mat and place this perfectly inside where those drawn lines are. So you want to put it on the inside of the inside line. There's the two sets. You want it right here perfectly. Back over in Design Space, we're going to press cancel. Yes, we want to cancel the cut. And then we'll come back here to the canvas. And what we want to do is change all of these from print and cut to cut lines. What we need to do first is come to the bottom right-hand corner and press detach. And then we'll select each of these individually and change them from print and cut to basic cuts, just like this. They're going to gray out. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like. And then the ones that we have flattened will look a little bit different. What we want to do is press unflatten, just like this. And then this, honestly, it would probably try to cut out each individual layer. So I'm just going to weld this one together. And this one right here, I'll press unflatten. I can delete this top part because I don't need it. It just needs to cut out this. And then the same with this. So I can press unflatten, delete that part, and then that's exactly what it's supposed to look like. The last thing I need to do is change this also to a cut line. And then with those ones that we unflattened, we still have to change them from print and cut to cut, just like this. So now look over at your layers panel and make sure that every single thing says basic cut. Once it does, you can select all of the layers, making sure that you're not moving anything. I have not moved anything. I want to make sure that I don't move it. And now I'm going to press attach. Now I need to change my machine setting again back to my Cricut Joy and click Make It. I'll select that I am going to be cutting on the mat. Now that I've connected to my Joy, I'm going to browse my materials. Now, printable vinyl, you can see here, is not one of the settings that is an option for Cricut Joy because it doesn't technically do this type of project. So what I want to do is choose the heavy cardstock option. I'll press done, and I'm going to put more pressure. And what this should do is it should cut all the way through the backing as well. And we'll have a nice sticker that you would like give to someone. It won't do a kiss cut. It will go all the way through the backing and just create a really cool sticker. Okay, now we're going to load our mat back in the Joy. And then we'll press the Go button in Design Space. So one thing that I like to do, you can see that I stopped kind of when it was doing the border. You can pause and unload your mat so that it doesn't cut around. It won't hurt it if it does that, but it just takes more time. Okay, now we just want to remove our mat from our printable vinyl, just like this. And you can see we have some really cute stickers. So one thing I do want to point out, because this is not an exact science, the ones that have the offset here do look a little bit better than the ones right here. So maybe just try to do this if you can create a good image with the offset. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you have fun creating stickers or other printable objects with your Cricut Joy. What a fun little hack and workaround. If you loved this video and love other hacks like this, you will love the Oak and Lamb community. I'd love to invite you to click the link below and join our flock here at Oak and Lamb, where we craft a lot. We love to do all different sorts of crafting, from Cricut to sublimation, glowforge, sewing, woodworking, home decor, and more. And if any of that sounds great to you, we'd love to have you as a member. Let us know if you have any questions down in the comments below. And if you're not a subscriber already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn notifications on so that you know when we go live and when we send out other content. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a fantastic day.